Welcome to Principles of Success. This is week 2, session 3. This course is a part of Malco Institute of Technology's leadership series. Our companion text is See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar. Welcome to week 2, session 3. Poor self-images get worse when fed. One source of poor self-esteem is an untrained memory. There are books to help you improve your memory dramatically in a short time. There's no such thing as a good memory or a bad memory. It is either trained or untrained. The choice of whether you train it or leave it untrained is up to you. We often make the mistake of comparing our experience with another person's experience. We tend to exaggerate their successful experience and downgrade our success. An unrealistic and unfair comparison of experiences is a cause of poor self-image. Experience has nothing to do with ability. If you can speak Chinese and I cannot, it does not mean that you are smarter than I am. It simply means that you have had a different experience. Instead of feeling inferior because someone can do something you cannot, why not concentrate on what you can do that others cannot? Remember that you can improve your skill by putting in the time and effort needed. Comparing your worst features with someone else's best features will cause a poor self-image. Eleanor Roosevelt was a combination of homeliness, fright, and fear. Then she made a decision. She took stock of her assets. She started seeing herself for her true value. And by doing this, she became one of the most charming and persuasive women in America. Take what you have and use it. Then your talent will be increased, which will bring more rewards. I invite you to watch this short video about Eleanor Roosevelt. She was a child with a very poor self-esteem. She was told that she was the ugly duckling of the family. She overcame it all to become a world leader. Additional resources are available on our website. Join us next time for session 4.
What Eleanor Roosevelt remembered, looking back, was an unhappy little girl in a lost family in a vanished world. A child she never could have been, but was. She said, too, that her mother was always a little troubled by her lack of beauty, and that she knew it as a child senses those things. And that her pretty young aunts, her mother's sisters, told her so in so many words.
One of the aunts was to say to me, "You are the ugly duckling of the family." It was an unknown thing for a whole girl not to be a belle at every party.
It used to be said at that time that Eleanor Roosevelt was her husband's eyes and ears, but it was never as simple as all that. For one thing, she was her husband's wife and had to take the consequences, as she discovered in New Zealand when she told a story she had picked up in her travels.
Just as the Marines were ordered to leave Guadalcanal, an officer found a private feeling very sad, looking very depressed. And he said, "What's the matter with you?" And he said, "Oh, I just can't go home. I haven't shot a Jap." And so the officer said, "Well, listen, I'll tell you what to do. You go up to that ridge over there and jump up all of a sudden and say, the hell with Hirohito. And they'll jump up other people all around, and if you shoot first, you get a jab. So he came by a little while later, and the Marine was still looking very gloomy, and he said, "Did you do what I told you to do?" And, "Yes, sir, yes. I ran up there, and I did just what you told me to do, and I said, to hell with Hirohito, and they jumped up just as you told me they would, but they all shouted, to hell with Roosevelt."
The figure that emerges in those last 4 years is a figure without likeness in our history. The lonely little girl in the dark parlor on 37th Street who asked only to be left to her unhappiness had become a woman known by sight to millions of human beings and by repute to nearly all the world. A woman who stood for compassion and hope in every continent of the earth, for courage and for belief. A woman who met the great and the simple, both with the same simplicity, giving and taking what she had given and taken all her life, the sense of humanity, of human worth. She was still plain, if that is or ever was the right word for her candid, selfless face. But no one who looked at her now ever thought of her plainness, only of her eyes. She was old, but it was her youth you saw when you met her. She was a great lady, as everyone kept saying over and over, the first lady of the world. But what the world found in her was a woman. A warm, completely honest, fearless woman who had lived a woman's life, accepted a woman's responsibilities, and changed the history of her time.